All right, morning guys. I hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. Gratitude to anybody new. Welcome along. This video, I'm going to explain to you, the beginner, what type of gloves that you probably will need to get started with, what type of gloves to try to roughly stay away from. You know, this is really going to depend on your budget and your commitment and how, you know, just how much you really want to get the best equipment for yourself, because there are some gloves out there that might look like a good idea just to get started. You know, the synthetic leather gloves. I'll pull up an image right now, and they can be deceiving. Obviously, a lot of pictures online or wherever you are can be deceiving, and the price can be tempting, but ultimately I personally would stay away from synthetic leather, right? For a few reasons. One, they're not going to fit the hand as comfortably or as snugly as like normal gloves, because you know, normal gloves do take a bit of time to wear in as well, but synthetic leather, you know, the ones that kind of drop in at like $40 or $60, and I understand too, if you have a budget, sorry, I just had to kick that football back. I understand too, if you have a budget, you know, it's very tempting, and you know, you might not have the budget for the gloves that I'm going to recommend. But here's the thing, when you do purchase and you do get synthetic leather, not only are they actually going to compromise the actual session, right? Hitting the bag with those things is awkward. When I use the mitts, and I've had, you know, hundreds and hundreds of beginners on the pads, and every now and then a beginner will show up and they'll kind of be half interested and they'll get the synthetic gloves, and I'm like, the mitt work is significantly worse from both ends, because the meeting on the gloves isn't the same, the impact isn't the same, the feel isn't the same, and then you don't really, at least from my experience from dealing with synthetic leather, you don't really get that mold that you are looking for. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at all, I'm just saying that I can feel the impact, I can feel it, and then the gloves deteriorate a lot quicker. So on to my point of what gloves you probably should be getting. Definitely real leather, or you know, not synthetic leather. I know there's different types and different names and stuff like that. I'm going to give you the gloves that I have recommended over the years, and they have been, you know, highly successful and highly I don't know what word I'm looking for. This company's gone strength. These gloves have gone from strength to strength, right? They used to just make one color, and now they're selling out all the time. It's the Title gloves. I'll get them right now. These Title gloves, right? I used to be like $100 or something like that, right? But the thing is, when you buy a pair of these gloves, right, genuine leather, it will say it on there. They've got the gel, so they protect your hands, right? They are very well made. And look, there's going to be a lot of other gloves like this, and I'll put a list at the end of other gloves that I've heard of very good too, like Rival gloves, for example. I know Everlast makes some really good gloves. So a lot of it's going to come down to your budget and your commitment. But if you are really into the sport, you're looking to get some, I would recommend these. These are for bag gloves, right? You know, there are different gloves for hitting the bag and hitting, well, the mitts you could probably use these with your trainer. Sparring, definitely not. Right, you want to keep the bag gloves for the bag, you want to keep sparring for sparring, and you could use these for mitts as well, if you, like I said, with the trainer. But the thing with these is, once you do spend the money on something like this, and this is where I said it comes back down to commitment, is that you will have these for many years, right? No matter how many times you use them. So it's an investment, right? Again, it's going to come down to your desire. It's going to come down to how much you really want a box, and how, you know, how important it is to you and where you're spending your money. Because let me tell you, when you do get something like synthetic leather, they're going to be busted up within, it depends how much you use them, of course, but within 6 months to 9 months, I'd say they start to crack. You know, I trained this kid, Luca, actually. He bought a pair of gloves. You know, I only train him once a week, and sometimes, you know, it ends up being 3 times a month. But his gloves are already started to break, and they're the synthetic leather ones. They're okay, you know, but you know, it's like I've seen the use and the deterioration of synthetic gloves, and it doesn't take long, and you don't get much out of them. And as I said, the impact and the whole session is affected. Sparring gloves, right? you're gonna want the ones that lace up. Okay, there are loads of different pairs. I've got this brand called Fighting. I haven't sparred for a while, to be honest with you, but I used to wear these. I thought these were really good. But again, this is going to come down to your commitment. But if you're going to spar, 16-ounce gloves is the required, industry standard. That's what everyone wears. You'll get a couple guys here and there sneak in the 14s, and you're like, wait, what ounce gloves are you wearing there, bro? 16-ounce really is what you should be sparring with, right? And to be honest with you, I would be training with the same amount, because you can get used to if you have 14s, right, or anything lighter than that, and then all of a sudden you're sparring, there's going to be a lot of difference. The gloves are going to be more defensive, suited for. With 16s you're going to have more of a glove, obviously, right? That's obvious, but the weight of them are going to be different. So if you just condition yourself for 6 months using 14 ounces and all of a sudden you spar for the first time using 16s, you're going to have possibly a few little issues with adjusting. And it's the same going the other way, right? I remember one of my amateur fights, the very first fight actually, you wear 10-ounce gloves, right? And I hadn't really been training in 10s at all, and perhaps I didn't know to, but when I went from 16s to 10s, like the first round, I was like, wow, this is like, the speed was, significantly different. So I would say get 16-ounce, get adjusted to those, use the 16s on the bag, get the Velcro so you can bring them on and off, right? That's pretty obvious. If you're gonna spar, get sparring gloves, get separate pair of gloves, lace up gloves. So you can see here, you're gonna lace them up, you're gonna get your trainer to tie them in nicely. That's the thing why you don't want these on the bag, is because you'd have to do it yourself. But look, again, invest in yourself. It depends on how much you want to box and where you're going to put your money. You're one of those people that's going out and spending money on this and that, and he's saying, I can't afford to box, I'm going to buy the synthetic leather. Then maybe boxing's not for you. And I'm not trying to put anyone down if they want to get the synthetic leather gloves. That's up to you. Maybe you're not all in, maybe you don't know and you just need some gloves. Totally get it. I've probably been there too, to be honest with you. I can't remember if I bought synthetic gloves or not, but I would recommend not getting those. If you're committed and you want to box, spend a little bit more money, because over the years that money is going to get recouped, because of not just the quality of the gloves that you're going to use in every session that you have, but the longevity of the gloves that you're going to have down the line will serve you much better. And you'll fit and mold into the glove better, because it'll be better made. Those tighter ones I showed you are very well made. The inside of them takes about a month to really break in, but when it does, it will fit your glove and fit your hand, and it'll feel great. And you'll be really happy. I would highly recommend those. And as I said, there's plenty more in that area that are probably pretty good as well, but I just haven't tried them to be able to tell you. But anyway, quick video today. I've got one more pair of gloves to show you actually. Yeah, if all else fails, you can always get a pair of these. These were a gift from my girlfriend's mum. I don't know how they used to wear these back in the day, but maybe these are like an exaggerated version of them, but they barely even fit on my hand. But these, I guess I don't know what they're made from, to be honest with you. But these are obviously just nostalgic. Don't get these to box in. These just stay up in my room. But I thought I'd bring them down because, we're doing a video on gloves, and well, these were the original gloves. So anyway, well, that's it for me anyway. Apologies about the lighting today. I'm here quite early, and sometimes the light takes a minute to get over, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions at all, because as I said, there's a lot of gloves out there that I don't know about. I haven't tried all of them. And I remember over the years, I know Everlast, just the ones that I've tried on that my trainer gave me, or that a friend had, that I was like, Everlast makes some pretty good gloves. Rival makes some pretty good gloves. Super Rare, I haven't tried those. I just ordered a pair of mitts off them. I'm waiting for them. The delivery's taking a long time, guys. So if you know where those mitts are, let me know. But yeah, in terms of gloves, it's all about how committed you are. And it's worth investing the money, just like just about anything that's well made and it's going to stand the test and you're going to really like them. It's important to feel comfortable when you're hitting the bag. Hitting the bag can be very boring and tiresome, and a bit of a task. So it's important that you actually have something on your hands that feels good. So that's my advice anyway. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for tuning in. As always, really appreciate it. My name's Henry, Boxing on the Edge. If you like the video, smash the like button. If you enjoyed the video even more, hit the subscribe button. For beginners, I've got a ton of videos on the way. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Hi guys, hope all is well. I've got an exciting gift to give you today for visiting my channel and watching my content. It's an ebook that me and my brother Tim have been working on for a while now. It's completely free. It's a beginner's guide to boxing, which will really help you understand the fundamentals of the sport around things like punches, stances, equipment, to other motivational stuff like attitude, mindset, goal setting. Also, there's a 30-day challenge to keep you fit and inspired. This is really going to help you improve your fitness, level up your skills, boost your knowledge, elevate your techniques, and motivate you to do more. I really can't wait to hear about your progress. Stay tuned to Boxing on the Edge, and like I say, be